Morning Soaks, Episode 2. Good morning, everybody. Do you have a dream in your chest that you're dying to get into or trying to accomplish, but people tell you that you're over 40, you're too late, don't worry about it, you already got a life that it's working for you? I know how you feel. Good morning, everybody, from London, Ontario, this beautiful morning, and I wanted to talk to you about um, my life and something and my path to owning my own restaurant. I woke up this morning with a little bit of teenage something, but hey, that's what it is. I'm 44 years old, and when I was in 2020, I lost my job in the middle of the pandemic, and it was a very scary situation for me because I've never talked about this publicly, but it was a situation where I was at a company for a very long time, and then in the middle of this thing, I find myself without a job, and that's the only way that I knew how to make a living. At that time, I was living only with my daughter, and it was more than scary. So if you've ever found in a situation when you're either, in my same situation, lost your job and looking for where to go, or if you're in a job that you may not like and you have a passion that you're really good at, that you want to work towards, life and society lies to us about the the timing of life, right? Because they want to tell you that you have to figure out your life by your 20s and 30s, and then by the time you're 40 you should be established and that's it, you're good, don't try anything else. And that's wrong, because your 20s is for learning. 20s is where you have the energy and the time, you have no commitments yet, maybe you have no kids and you have the opportunity to travel all over the world wherever you want and learn about what this life and what this planet has to offer. And you have the energy, you have all the courage, and that's what the 20s are for. Your 30s are basically for surviving, right? Like all these stupid things that we did in our 20s, they're starting to, we're starting to feel it. Our body's starting to change. We don't want to maybe party that much, or we don't want to get so crazy that much, but we just survive. We work a job that maybe we, start at the bottom, and then you have to work hard and put your time and move up in the ladder, right? But then when you hit your 40s, something magical happens. Like you you feel more comfortable with yourself. You kind of like start learning about yourself. You start learning about things that you don't like, and that you don't have to say yes to everything. That's why there's so many memes around going that, in your 40s, what? Any plan that we get invited past 8 p.m. is like, dude, what's going on? Even with my wife Sheena, we prefer now, instead of dinner parties, we like to do lunch parties on the weekend. Start at 2 p.m. We're done by 6. We're in bed by 9. Life is good. Maybe you're not at that point yet, but if you're still partying, that's okay. But when you're in your 40s, you're smarter. Maybe you put together some money that you can actually, you know, think about investing in yourself. And this is the perfect time to start that business or that dream that you've been trying to put together, and that have been always thinking about, and that you always, that thing that when you go to your 9 to 5, or maybe you start at 7 a.m. and you're done at 3:30 in Canada, and then you have all the afternoon to think about this. This is the time to do it. I started Grill 23 with my wife in 2022, right in the middle. Like the pandemic was already maybe on the way out, but the pandemic had destroyed the restaurant industry, and it was a very scary time to get into a restaurant business. But it was my wife's dream, and also my dream that has been in my head since I was a kid. But society tells you restaurant business is really hard. 50% of restaurants fail. the pandemic made all the restaurants fail, all of them, well, most of them. So what are you going to do now in your 40s when you just lost your job and all that? Open a restaurant? Oh, that's a great idea. But we didn't listen because we were passionate about it. It's the dream that we always wanted to do. And I was extremely lucky that I connected with, with a person that really had the same dream, and not only the dream, but also we were very ready, like financially, emotionally, professionally. We had all the know-how, all the experience in different business that we did in the past. So now, when we went into the restaurant industry, did we know the answers to everything? Hell no, hell no. There's nobody that can say like, "Oh, I know everything and I'm gonna make it a success." But along the way, life and the business teaches you all the lessons that you need to know in order to make your business successful. And it is up to you if you want to hear those teachings from life and actually want to, get put the work in and implement what you know, or the wrong way is to ignore all that, be very tough headed, and just keep going the way you think is going, even though it's not working. If you saw my episode from Restaurant Truths from last night, which is available in my feed right now, I talk about how restaurants are not bad; they're just bad at business. And what I mean with that, if you go watch the episode right now, is that if you don't pay attention to the way the business is supposed to be running and what the truth about what market tells you and the feedback that you get for your customers, and if you don't know your margins, your earning potential, like all that, your sales, your projections, your cash flow, all that stuff, if you don't know that, you are setting yourself for failure. So go watch that episode. My message to you this morning is, if you're in your 40s and you got a pastry business, or you got what other business have I seen out there? I've seen my friend from Santa Barbara just joined. She sells coffee, amazing coffee, and she's a hustler. All these people. Hey, hello to my friend Gio Prada from my childhood. Te amo, mi hermano. Un abrazo. Sorry for switching to Spanish, but hey, I'm a Spanish guy. Uh, so if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something that you are really passionate about, I was talking to my friend Big Mike, and we went to visit Sabrina's business from Cup of Cake. You saw my story a couple last week, and it was so awesome because we were having this discussion, and he works a 9 to 5, and he was telling me like, I have a really good job, I really like it, but also I see what you guys are doing, owning your own business, you and my buddy Kyle from Kyle's Fried Chicken, and it looks like we have a lot of liberty. And yeah, after working in my business for 3.5 years, I do have an amazing team that it's there to look. I just talked about my buddy Kyle, and he just joined. Hey, buddy. If you put your work in, if you work towards building a team at the beginning, you're going to be stuck in your business for the whole time, morning to evening. I used to spend at the restaurant like from 7 a.m., maybe 6 a.m. when we opened for breakfast, all the way till 8 p.m. with no breaks. We were not as busy as we were at that time, but it was a lot of work. But in the end, as we grew, we slowly started hiring people. We found an amazing person. Her name is Ceci. You know Ceci. She works in our downtown location. But Chef Ceci is the manager of our business. And when we're not there, she has everything so under control that I can't believe that we were so lucky to find somebody like that. And that's what we did. So now I don't have to be at the restaurant at 8 a.m. and I can do videos like this to share my experience with you. And all I want to do is, like, I'm no guru. I'm no guy that has all of life figured out. But what I do have is a story to tell. And the more social media has opened these platforms for us, regular people from life that we live in London, Ontario. There's no celebrity here that is from New York and millionaire or whatever. I'm not any of that, but I'm just a regular guy just like you. I'm a guy that it's tired and frustrated and also happy and amazed at everything that life has given me. But I get dreams. I get more dreams, coming up in my life. My wife and I, we plan a lot of stuff that we want to do and accomplish together. And I'm absolutely lucky about the wife that I got, because she allows me to have an amazing life with no troubles, no issues, no small problems, no fights, no nothing. Like it's all it's all let's work together. Let's move this forward. Last night we had a situation where we were not in agreement of something, a decision that we were going to make for the business, and we were not in agreement at all. She was on one end, I was on the other end, and in the end, our rule is that we do not move forward in the business unless we are both 100% in agreement. And that's what we did. We walked away, and there's no problems, no hard feelings, because that I trust her in her in her experience, and also she trusts me, and that's it. So when I have a good idea, she backs it up. When she has a good idea, we back it up. And if the idea is bad, we just don't do it. So this morning, you're blessed. You're lucky to be alive. We're lucky to be alive in an amazing time, except with all the crap that's happening with Trump right now. That's a circus over there. Sorry, my phone is dying now, and I'm gonna wrap this up. But for the rest, every one of us that live here in Canada, in this beautiful land where we get to experience so many different things and be entrepreneurs and live life in a peaceful country, without the problems that we had, for example, in my home country of Colombia. And so there is life after 40. If you are in the same situation that I was when I started turning 40, you can still do amazing things. You can still go after your dreams. All you have to do is, you don't need anything else other than courage and the desire to do whatever it takes to build your dreams. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week, next Thursday, on another episode of Morning Soaks. And I love you all. Have a great day.